Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Mighty Benaya here, and today I have something a little bit different for you. I decided to try Call of War, which is Bytro's other game, to see what the differences are between it and Supremacy, to see if I would want to cast it. And a little bit of a spoiler, I don't think that I want to cast this game because it has a couple of features that are just a headache for me. If you want to see this game casted, then absolutely comment. If I get probably about 10 comments that you want to see, some Call of War content, then I will consider it. But generally speaking, I'm not a fan of a couple of the features of this game, but it is really interesting to see where it is different from Supremacy and where Supremacy is headed, because a lot of the features in the new update are based off of the mechanics of this game. So let me show you a few things that are different. The first thing that you'll notice that's different is the resources. There is food, so there's no fish, it's just wheat. There are goods, and goods are kind of like wood, but honestly, they're used more for ordnance. So they're used more for artillery. Think of goods as like dynamite. Goods as like ammunition, right? There's manpower, which is given by every single province, similar to silver, but cash is actually money is silver. That's the equivalent. So this is a completely different type of resource that you can upgrade, that you can use upgrades in all of your provinces to increase, but it's not the same as anything in Supremacy. There is metal, which is obviously kind of like the iron, oil, which is all of your energy resources combined into one. And then there's this rare materials. So rare materials kind of is like oil in Supremacy. It's used for advanced units. It's used for really fun stuff to use. And oil is more like coal. You use it in a lot of units, unlike Supremacy, but it's a little more common and it's not as necessary for the late game. So those are the different resources. It's a little bit different, but here's where the big change comes. And I like this. I actually suggested this in my comments on how to make Supremacy better. That was before I tried this at all. So complete happenstance, but you can build every single type of unit from the beginning. So you can change the way that your army composition is. So you've got obviously buildings, right? Barracks allow infantry, ordnance allows artillery, tank plants allow tanks, aircraft allow aircraft. There's also a harbor for navy. So actually I'm going to select Alexandria so we can see harbor. And then secret labs are for things like atomic bombs and missiles and things that are just future tech for World War II, which is when this is based. But it's the buildings are separated into units that you can build, and then economy, and then unit support, and then obviously the capital. So I went through all of the different unit production. What I would suggest is you want one of these in each of your provinces. And actually, let me go back a little bit. You have two different types of provinces. You have cities, and cities can build units. And then you have just rural areas. And these rural areas, they can produce industry, but they can't produce units. They do give you, some of them give you resources, but not all of them. So this province doesn't give me any additional resources, but it does give me cash and manpower, and I can build buildings there, but I can only build economic buildings. You can't build unit production. You can only build unit production in your cities, which I think is interesting. So these are your unit production centers, and in them, I would suggest building one type of unit production building because you can only build one unit at a time, right? And you want to be able to upgrade that unit production so it produces them faster instead of being able to produce a bunch of different ones. I made the mistake of making a naval base and barracks in Alexandria instead of just a naval base. And I did that a couple of times. learning curve. I want you to be able to do things that I can't do on your first game. Economy is really important because the provinces that you have are essentially your double tiles. And you want to be able to build your unit production, but you also want to be able to build industry. Industry is increases your production of the special material that province generates. Recruiting station increases your manpower. You remember the new resource, and then propaganda office increases your morale. So I like that morale is done specifically through a specific building. It's really interesting to me. And then obviously you have forts, which are called bunkers. Infrastructure, which is kind of like railroads without the morale or the production bonus. It just increases your speed, which I really like on countries like Egypt, which is who I'm playing, because of all of the space that you have to work with. You can move your units from one side of the map to the other faster, and then capitals do the same thing. So I like the ability to build all of these different types of units. I'm on day 5, and I have built all of the different unit types. I've built submarines, I've killed battleships, I've built tanks, I've built infantry. You do not get infantry that auto spawns like you do in Supremacy. You have to build every single unit except for the ones that you start with. What I do not like about this game, one other thing that I want to show you. You see that little parachute? If you capture a territory that has that little parachute within the time frame, so I have 1 day and 3 hours, as you can see up in the top left corner, you get resource bonuses, right? You get a little booster. So think it would be kind of like in Supremacy if you got Gold Mark. So in this game, you get these resource cards, this boost to construction, boost to hit points, boost to morale, in addition to gold. So you get both. When you do the ads, you get food, goods, morale, metal, etc. And at the very end, you get some gold. I like that because it helps direct where you should be spending your the things that you earn. However, the one thing that you don't get from watching ads is the premium. And this is my big gripe with this game. If you are free to play, the one thing that you want is to increase your efficiency. And the best way to increase your efficiency is to stack your units so that you complete construction and you build something else, right? So as soon as I complete the construction, I want to queue this, but I can't queue it unless I'm a member, and you can't get the member with a free account. So I don't like this feature. The only reason that the biggest reason that I like Supremacy more than this is because you can get that premium account and you can queue things up so that you can be more efficient. In this game, you need to spend gold. There is no such thing as a no gold game. You need to spend everything as a free-to-play player, everything that you have coming in, because you cannot be efficient. So you have to use whatever the ads are giving you to make up for that issue. So what I would say is people who want to play Call of War should either buy premium or use all their resources, but they shouldn't do both. If they buy premium and use all the resources, then that is where you're going to run into issues of people just wiping over you. In this game specifically, it was a little bit rough for me. I got attacked by Libya early. Libya, Algeria, and Turkey are all in real life friends, and they ganged up on me. So I had a rough start, but I was told this morning that they left the game. They were also friends with France, Spain, England, and Sweden. So we will see if they've all left or how this is going to continue. But what I really want to eventually get to, and I may create one more video on this, research in this game is time delayed. And I think that that's good. So in the beginning, you get infantry. You don't get all the different types of infantry, so you don't get commandos until you research them on day 4, but you get all the different types of units. You get different types of ordnance. These are all the different types of tanks. But here is where I'm really excited to try things out, is the secret. So I have rocket artillery. I don't have the best rocket artillery, but I do have it. But in this game, you get nukes. Nukes that you can just absolutely demolish. And so I want to try using a nuke once. And I will probably record that to show you. But that is all that I have for this game. I'm excited to show you the end game content, but I'm not really, because of the premium account thing, I'm not really excited to continue streaming this game. If you want to see this content, please leave a comment that says, hey, I want to see Call of War. If I get, again, probably 10%, which is 10 likes, I have reached, not likes, 10 comments, I've reached 100 subscribers. Thank you so much for your support. So if I get about 10% of you to say, yeah, I want to see Call of War content, then I might make another game. But as of right now, this is just me taking a look, seeing what's different, and seeing what you can do to be better at Supremacy with updates that they may have in the future. That's all I have for now. Soli Deo Gloria, and I'll see you next time.